Yes, you could take, this morning, for instance, I just referred to the single vibration that is experienced as the body. And we probably won't have time this week, but you can do this on your own. You could do a meditation like we did this morning, but adapt it to your needs. And for instance, you could just take the experience of the head. Because that head is the place, one of the main residences of the separate self. The seer lives just behind here, the smeller in here, the taster here, the hearer here, the thinker there. The separate self has actually many rooms in this, many places where it lives, just in the head area. So you could do a similar contemplation as we did this morning, just with the head, or with your shoulders, or you could slowly go over the entire body rather than just say one vibration. You could go through the whole body, making sure that every little feeling of pain or contraction. So in other words, we could be a little more thorough than we were this morning.
Yeah, but there was nothing.
Well,
there was
fine.
no.
If there's nothing, then
no. But you know, I did it. So you know, I was so surprised that there was nothing. But I went anyway to the places I remember, like my eyes or other stuff, to bring some energy to that.
Just to check that there was nothing there. Yes.
But now that I'm in this daily space or awareness, of course my eyes is and
yes.
all stuff.
But that's fine, because these meditations, that they're very intense, and relatively speaking, they're very short, but they have a tremendous impact on the body. The body will never be the same again. Having gone through one of these meditations, something of the density of the separate self has been dissolved out of it. Now, when we open our eyes and go back to regular life, 95% of the old habits will come back again and will superimpose themselves on the body. But the body will have been impacted, that it will be a little less dense, a little less contracted. And then we go back the next day or whenever we feel moved to do so, to this loving contemplation. And again, we dip ourselves into it, into the river. And again, there is a deepening of this process of expansion and relaxation. Again, when we go back to regular life, many of the old habits come back, but the body will again have been impacted. Something of the separate self will have been washed out of the system. And if we do this over and over and over and over again, the body gradually gets washed clean of the sense of separation. But it takes time. This is, of course, a completely unfashionable thing to say on the non-dual circuit. And relatively speaking, it's a process that takes time, and it's a post-enlightenment process. We're not talking about discovering our true nature of open, empty, luminous, space-like awareness. We are starting there. Mm-hmm. We start with this enlightened realization. I don't like the word enlightened. We start with what we truly are. We've already discovered that, or we are close to discovering it, but we've had a taste of that. We start there, and it is that we are subjecting, in this case, the body, to that realization. We are realigning our experience of the body with what we have already understood ourselves to be. And the body, as I said earlier, it's a network. It's not just one contracted object. It's a network of tensions and contractions, all of which, or many of which, because some tensions are functional, obviously. Some muscles need to be contracted just to enable us to sit. Those are not the kind of contractions we're talking about. We're talking about the contractions whose purpose is only to mimic the presence of a separate self. Those knots or contractions gradually come out of hiding. They've been buried in the body for years. Some of them were laid down when we were infants.
Yeah,
In fact, many of them were laid down early on in life, and they've been successfully buried in the body. It takes time. So it's a process in time. It's not just oh, I've done that exercise once. What's Rupert's next exercise? It's not like that. It's an ongoing immersion or an ongoing surrendering of the body to this empty, loving presence of awareness. And it is in the Christian tradition, it's called the transfiguration. It is the transfiguration of the body-mind. It is the dissolution of the solidity and density and objectness of the body-mind in the light of pure awareness. In ignorance, I-awareness becomes like the body. In wisdom or understanding, the body becomes like awareness.